Greetings again, Nissan Z fans. Today we have MiniGT number 414 of the latest Nissan Z. I'm looking here at the Nissan website. Let's learn a little bit about this car. So it's $50,000, which might sound like a lot of money, but when you look at this thing having 400 horsepower from its twin-turbo V6, that doesn't seem so bad. The reason being is the original Dodge Viper cost around $50,000 and it had 400 horsepower out of its V10. Let's see what else. Twin turbo, 3 liters. We mentioned that. Okay. Nothing else I really want to learn about. It's going to be rear wheel drive, I assume, being a Z. Yeah, okay, so that's it for that. Let's get into this. So I went with the yellow color because that's how I know this car, because all the press photos seem to have it in yellow. It's licensed being a MiniGT, licensed by Nissan. This is a right-hand drive version, and it's called the Protospec 2023 Ikazuchi Yellow. I don't know what an Ikazuchi is. Okay. Yep, typical, good packaging, pretty small, but still protects the product. Let's look at these photographs. We got some golden wheels, it looks like, on the real car with yellow calipers. You got the roof line and all. Yeah, seems pretty good. Alright, so this side, I don't know about the tail lights. It looks like there's 2 bars on the photograph. We'll have to see what the model does. So I'm looking at the paint now. Unfortunately, Ikazuchi yellow. I don't know if it's metallic or is it? Hold on, I gotta really zoom in. I think I see some metallic flakes. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there are some little speckles in there. So it's a very, very light metallic yellow. To the naked eye, it doesn't look metallic at all. It's only under magnification. Alright. Starting with this front wheel. It's actually not gold, it's more of a bronze color. Yeah. So, and then again, I'm looking at the photos again. I guess it just depends on the lighting situation. Maybe they are bronze wheels on the real car. But the 5 lug nuts here look pretty good. And then the tires, well, you do see the side blocks. I don't know, I'd rather not see them myself. But the tire treads on the bottom do look okay. And then actually, let's see if the tires are staggered. They are. So the rear tires are wider. Now let's finish off the bottom. Metal base, the brand, but oh, great, awesome. It actually tells you what the car is. So Nissan probably forced this upon MiniGT. I don't know why by default MiniGT doesn't have this. It's molded into the casting, right? So you know what the car is when you pick it up. There's a separate muffler here with silver paint, and there's probably a screw underneath it. Alright, you can kind of see the black paint here isn't so great, but it's on the bottom of the car, so I don't mind so much. It looks pretty good from the side view. Alright, and the yellow, well, it's showing a little darkness of the casting. And that's yellow paint in general. It's not MiniGT's problem, it's everyone's problem. Every brand has this problem with yellow, white, red. Alright, the door handle is quite funky looking. It does have the little recess for the fingers here on this panel, so that seems okay. There's some silver paint here for this. On the real car, it's red, and it looks like the rear photograph I pulled up was a computer rendering because there's no reflector at all. So interesting. There's no reflector on the side of the car on the front. That's interesting, and that seems accurate to the photos. There's a raised bump here. I'm gonna guess that's like a Z badge. I wonder if it's actually printed though. Yeah, kind of, sort of. It looks kind of like a Z. And there's a little silver ring as well, so that's pretty good. This is under a really high magnification, which is probably unfair for MiniGT. You know, it's fair to do on a resin model. Okay, nice rubbery mirrors as usual, so very nice. And those mirrors I don't think could ever really break off. They're so short. MiniGT's all roll, so once you don't need to ask. Just they roll, all of them, to my experience. Alright, plastic. Decent enough grill details, I guess. I wonder if these are brake ducts. Not sure. And then the badge on the front. Very nice. MiniGT is stepping up their game. This is something you'd expect on a much higher level priced model. It's like a foil sticker or a decal. But it's very shiny. It's very chrome. And the Nissan is very well done. You gotta remember, this is a dental pick. This is meant to go between the gaps of your teeth. And the Nissan lettering is so much thinner. So very, very good. We have the clear headlights, and there's like a silver bar behind there in a rectangle. So there are molded details behind there. Just, you know, not too much paint. It looks like on the photograph there's two rectangular projectors though. So I don't know if this bucket was molded before they got real photos of the real car, or there were design changes after. But I feel like the two rectangles would have been nicer than this one bar. Oh well. Alright, this side, there's a fuel filler on this side, and again, the yellow paint's having a hard time. You have to lay it on pretty thick to cover up the edges. Going to the rear. Try to get some better light. So it does seem like there's two horizontal bars of red, and there's just a break in this one here. That actually is accurate to that rear photo / computer rendering. So I don't know if these are just reflectors on the real car and these are the brake lights, but it's nicely done. You know, they're very three-dimensional as far as the molding goes, and then the clear cover over it is nice. So nice badge again, just same as the front, very good. And then there's also a nice Z, again, foil sticker or something, very good. This is a tampo print up here, Fairlady Z. And then nice to see something on the license plate area, again, Fairlady Z. That's a hard script to replicate. I don't know if I really see Fairlady Z, but I don't blame MiniGT. That just could be the weird font that Nissan had. The exhaust tips are really nice. You know, with the recess here, a pretty deep recess, and it's black in there. So they do look like tubes. Again, I'm magnified. So this is now 1:1 scale. So from this distance, I think it looks fantastic. To the naked eye, it looks really good. Alright, the roof, there's a little antenna bump there. And then it seems like a black interior, which is probably accurate to the real car. I like to paint mine though. Now, I'm going to have to put some brakes on this thing, because there's such big openings, right, with those spokes. But I'm not going to mess with that. I have in the past taken this off, like my Audi RS6, but I find this just easier to remove the wheels without even opening this. That's going to require my special tools. Let's see if we can do this. This is basically a key, and I shaved it down to an angle, and I took a file and cut out a wide enough groove to go over the axle ends. So I'm just going to jam that in there. So that's actually worked loose already. You can see it's not quite enough though. So I actually have a second one. I'm going to jam in behind that one. Oh, I was thinking I could just do it with my fingers now, but no, I cannot. There we go. So this axle is knurled. It's not a flute design. So now I have some 3D printed brakes. I gotta be mindful of there's no direction on the wheels. So I just gotta have these brakes to see if they fit on this. No, I'm gonna have to file out this hole a little bit. But I think they will fit inside the wheel itself. So then I have a little jewelry file. Nope, a little bit more. Why is that? I think because I used a key, I messed up that wheel. So I gotta get a hobby knife now. Obviously you can fast forward. I made that hole a little bit too big, so now I have some school glue. This little dropper bottle. I'll keep that from falling inwards too much. So you get the gist. So I do have directional brakes as far as the slotting goes, so I gotta figure out which side of the car. This would go on this side of the car. I don't have a crazy yellow like this body, just this more common yellow. But it's good enough, I guess. It's better to have some brakes than no brakes. If you press it on too tight, it's not going to roll, of course, which actually I like. I don't want these things falling off the display stands and stuff. There's just various tolerances between each part. Yeah, well, that's a tight fit, that one. on the other side. This is knurled. I like to twist the wheel as I push it on. It makes it easier. Okay, so that's supposedly I like the photo now. Granted, the yellow is obviously off. Oh, no, this is supposed to be in the forward position. Alright, good enough. Must be a few other Z's. I don't have too many Z's in my collection, but here's an old rally car Z. This is by Dido. This is probably a 260 Z if I had to guess. Maybe it's a 240 ZG. Yeah, I don't know, sorry. Here's a Liberty Walk treated Z. This is by Aoshima as part of their Grachan collection. And then I have some BNDS plastic wheels and my own 3D printed brakes on this. Here's a TLV of a 280Z, I think. Doesn't really say, it just says 2x2 and S130. I think an S130 might be a 280Z. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the last one is by Kyosho. And it's a 350Z race car. My notes say it's from 2006. So, a bunch of different brands tackle the Nissan Z or the Fairlady series. You can see the size. Let's put this one here. Actually, the more modern ones. So this newest Z, granted, is wider for side impact protection and stuff, but it's actually shorter than this old Z here. So it's interesting that it hasn't grown like most modern vehicles do with each successive generation. They've managed to keep it pretty small. Fingers all over this thing. Okay, well, as usual for me at least, another fine MiniGT product has been released. No quality control problems at all. This is pretty much a flawless model. It's just the yellow paint, has a hard time covering up some of the edges, but it doesn't really look bad even. So the edges on this, it doesn't really bother me. So yeah, nothing to complain about. I know some other people have had some bad luck with this brand, with QC slipping and stuff like that. But out of my entire MiniG collection, I haven't had too many defects when I take the whole picture into account. So I'm definitely happy with this brand still. Thank you for watching today. I'll see you the next time we talk about a Nissan.